Want to make sure you can hear me. There we go. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining me today. I'm Sherri-Lee, and I'm here to talk to you about how to use Facebook to build your email list, especially if you are a local business owner. You'll be interested in this today. And I've got a special guest joining me, and she's going to be telling you about her recent experiences building her email list and how that reflected in her local business. So first I wanted to welcome you all for being here. There's quite a few people in the chat room. If you could just leave a note for me in your chat, where you're from, what your business is, I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for being here. If you could do that, then we could start getting to know each other a little bit better and start customizing the webinar for you today and make sure that you get the information that you want. So if you just want to say hi in the chat and where you're calling in from, and if you want to tell me what your business is, that would be great too. That would let me know. That's fantastic. I see a few people popping up here. Thank you everyone for being here. That's terrific. Oh, hey, Jamie, calling in from Mexico. Cool. Wendy, glad to see you here. Tracy, thank you for being here. That's fantastic. Appreciate you guys being here. Sorry, I'm just having a few technical issues trying to figure out how to make things work on two computers. I was good on one, but two is challenging. So for those of you who don't know me, before we get started, I'm just going to take a couple of minutes to let you know a little bit about me, just so that you know who I am and why you should listen to me. I've been in my business now for 4.5 years. There's a typo there. I started the company in 2014, it says. That's pretty funny. Actually, no, I started the company in 2010. I'll have to make a note to change that. And I started out doing workshops and then over time added done-for-you services, because as people came to the workshops to learn how to do it, they still walked away and said, ooh, can you help me do it myself, because I still don't want to invest that much time. So I started adding done-for-you services. Then in the last year, I've gotten very focused around Facebook ads, something we call Facebook funnels, which we're going to talk a bit about today, and Facebook email list building, or using Facebook to build your email list. And that sort of built into adding email campaigns for people who wanted assistance with that, as well as creating lead magnets and contests and promotions on Facebook. So it's really Facebook-centered what I do, and the reason why I focus so much on Facebook is simply because if you are a business owner and there's over 1 billion people on Facebook, I'm pretty sure you could find somebody within your niche. Now, I'm also not a big believer in doing multiple channels at once unless you're able to manage them, and that seems to be an issue that a lot of people get into. And you know what? I've even been there myself, where I've gone, oh, I haven't been on Pinterest for a month and I haven't posted anything. And it's almost as bad for your business to be on a network that you're not managing as it is to not be on a network at all. So I encourage people to pick 1 or 2 networks and to be really conscious of the amount of time it's going to take to manage that, and then to really focus on managing those, getting those working for you, and then adding in other networks as you see fit. But if you can get one working for you and driving business and traffic to either your website or your storefront or your coaching services, then you've found the thing that works, and why water it down or dilute it. And that's what we're talking about today, is using one platform to work. So I'd like to introduce you to Deanna Whistle. She is a long-term client of mine, and I think we've become good friends over the time that we've worked together. And Deanna, can you hear me? Are you there? Dead silence. Oh dear. All right. She was here a minute ago before I started the presentation, so bear with me for a minute while I try to give Deanna She's connected to audio. Bear with me, please. I want to see if I can get her. She's, oh dear. No, it doesn't say that she's muted, Tracy. Thank you, but she shouldn't be. Let me see. Oh, the joys of tech, right? So Deanna is messaging, and she's saying she's not muted, but she can hear me, but we can't hear her. Deanna, yeah, maybe you should. Oh, that's too bad. Well, you guys are helpful with all your suggestions. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's absolutely dead. Deanna, are you on your phone? And maybe you're going to have to log back in. If you're on your phone, then you have to choose telephone as your option on your screen, not mic and speakers. You'll see that little panel that I had you close over and make smaller. You actually have to choose telephone on that. If you're on your telephone, there's a button to click on that. Well, you guys are all champs for sticking in here. I'm sorry about this.
Sherri-Lee, can you hear me?
Yay! There you are.
Yeah, I hung up and I dialed back in.
Yay! Can everybody hear Deanna? Let me know in the comments if you can hear Deanna, please. Okay, I'm waiting for some comments from people.
Did I sing?
Yeah, I can hear you, so now I'm just waiting to see. Yes, they can all hear you. Terrific.
Yay!
Hey,
Okay,
so Deanna, I was just introducing you, and now that everybody's waited in anticipation, I want you to be amazing.
Okay, thank you.
No pressure. You're always amazing. Go for it. Tell us about yourself.
Okay, no problem. Hi, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Sherri-Lee, for having me as a guest presenter. My name is Deanna Whistle. I live in Langley, and we have a couple of ladies, I would say mid to high-end ladies clothing stores. My background is national marketing, brand marketing, trade marketing, and sales. So I actually came from the food business from a corporate level, and decided to do this crazy thing called entrepreneurship, and for the last 4 years this is what I've been doing. So that's a little bit about me. Actually, just a side note, I did start this business with my best friend, and she was my business partner where we started our first store, and I became the Lone Ranger when she was diagnosed with breast cancer and passed away 2 weeks later. So I made my decision to leave my corporate job and do this full time. So, and here we are today, nearly 4 years later. So that's me in a nutshell.
That's such an amazing story. You've mentioned that before, and I love how you keep honoring your partner, you know, through all of this. It's like she's still here with you working on this, so I really like that. But you do so much more than just run a mid to high-end clothing store. You're a Rotarian. You volunteer in your community hugely. You run these fabulous retail therapy tours, and if you're local and you haven't gone on one of these, you really have to. I was on one in September, and it's really the coolest thing you could do on a Sunday. And then you've also got the wine club. So you do a lot of things that bring the community together and keep everybody involved, and I really love that too. That's, I think, one of the things I like about working with you. All right, let's move on. There we go.
Thank you.
So You had your big 2-year celebration coming up. That was October 2nd. We celebrated that, and it was just for your Langley store, right? Your White Rock store has been open for longer than that.
That's correct.
So we wanted to do something special to celebrate.
We've been in White Rock just over 4 years.
4 years in White Rock. Are you there?
Just over 4 years in White Rock, yeah.
Oh yeah, perfect. So we wanted to celebrate. You can even see in this picture, Thursday, October 2nd, we had a big party going on, and Deanna wanted to do something around Facebook that was in line with that. So do you want to just talk a little bit about what your ideas were for that event?
Yeah, I think one of the key things for me is, and this is just my own personal business belief and strategy, is that you really build your business from the outside in, and that's why I'm very much involved with the community. But that being said, you can't just do one thing. You have to be planting those seeds, and they're hopefully what happens is they start harvesting different times. So when we decided to do a 2-year or birthday sale or birthday celebration, we wanted to do it in a big way. So we provided local businesses that we do partner with for our tours also an opportunity to come in to cross-promote, and it's great for referral too. So that's exactly what we did. We got a local winery involved, and they provided the wine, and we got one of the ladies that is a local entertainer involved. And what we did is we really built some excitement around it. So not just through in-store, but most importantly, one of the things was going to Sherri-Lee and saying, okay, we want you to do what you do really well, and that is really engage new, prospective, and friends of current customers through social media and get that excitement out there even in a bigger way. So that's kind of how that whole thing, building the excitement around this event. Sherri-Lee and I obviously had some discussion about it, and I had a couple of really clear goals, and I guess I don't want to stomp on your thunder here, so I'll just stop there, and then
we'll go through those. But let's break this down so that everybody can see how we did this. So what we did was we sat down and obviously talked about that event and what were we going to do, and then there was talk of prizes and contests that we wanted to do. And so we started, talking about what kind of a contest could we do, and then how could we leverage that on Facebook and also get new people in so that the email list got built. So the contest was phenomenal, and honestly, to have success building your email list, you don't have to have this large of a prize every single time. People love to win, so it doesn't have to be a massive prize that's going to be a huge expense for you on a regular basis. As long as it's relevant to your industry, that's the key. And a lot of people do contests on Facebook and will give away an iPad, and it has nothing to do with their business. Maybe they're a paint store and they're going to give away an iPad. You'll get lots of interest for that, and you'll have lots of sign-ups, and your email list will grow. But as soon as the iPad has been given away, a lot of those people will leave your list, leave your page, because they didn't actually want to connect with you. They just wanted a chance to win an iPad. So make sure that your prize that you select is relevant to your industry, to your business. So it makes perfect sense. Our contest prize was a $500 shopping spree at Deanna's store. She reached out to a partner in the community, Brown Social House, and they donated lunch for two to go with that prize. And then she reached out to the local Shoppers Drug Mart, and they donated a couple of makeovers for the winners as well. So we bundled that all together, and we had a prize pack that's well over $700 to give away at this event, which was appropriate for the celebration, the size of the celebration. So then we wanted to use that to grow the email list, and we wanted people to be in her store that night. So that's always the trick. If you do a contest on Facebook, a lot of people, you have to really be careful. If you're targeting local, then you have to very hyper-target your local market so that you don't have people outside of your market entering and not able to attend to meet the criteria, because you don't want to piss people off with a contest that they want to win but that they can't actually qualify for. So you have to be very, very clear of all of those points. And our goal, I remember when Deanna said to me, okay, but I expect 150 emails for this promotion. And I went, okay, we can do that. We had about 10 days, right? Is what we had?
Yeah, 10 days.
We left it kind of late. But it worked out really well. Maybe it caused a sense of urgency, I don't know. But that was the goal, was 150 email opt-ins. And as you know from reading the promotion, we had more than that, but we'll go through that. So I left there and I went to Lead Pages, which is a great, fabulous tool I use when I'm running promotions, contests, anything that has to do with list building. I pretty much use Lead Pages. I sometimes use contest nominations, but for this one, because of how we wanted to run this contest and we wanted to drive people into her store that night, I chose Lead Pages. So I just created this very simple landing page. And if you don't know Lead Pages, it is a very simple tool to use. It's what you see is what you get. So it's drop and drag, and you can put your own pictures in. They have templates, and you can edit them. Some templates are more editable than others, but they give you information on how well each template performs. So I selected a really simple one because I really wanted it to be crisp and clean and not a lot of reading for people to do because it was a contest. So you can see I selected this image, I put that in here, I put Deanna's logo in, I said clearly in the headline, here's enter to win, like there's no doubt here what you're going to get, and then here's the prizes. The big kahuna of it all is the 500 shopping spree from Vanilla, and then a little bit smaller, lunch for two at Brown's, makeovers at Shoppers Drug Mart, and over 600 in prizes. And then click here. And this bottom where it says get your ballot here, where people are collecting, they're giving us their email address for a ballot to enter, not an automatic enter. I'm sure you've all entered contests on Facebook where you give your email address and that's your entry. In this case, we had another step for people to take. And sometimes too many steps can put people off, but in this case, it didn't do that. So once they clicked get your ballot here, they were, oh, sorry, I wanted to mention that this page converted over 61% of the people who hit that page actually clicked and went through. That is a fabulous number for conversion. Huge. So, yeah, I wanted to share that because I was going through everything this morning when I was making the slides and I saw that and I went, wait a minute, that is massive. So something simple and clean like this can work really easily. You do not have to be a copywriter that writes those big, long sales pages for the right kind of promotion. So,
Sherri-Lee, can I just interject on something? And I just want to share something from my learnings from a very corporate level when it comes to contests. There are a lot of contest sites where they actually publish what the contests are and provide answers. And a lot of those contest winners really, they have nothing to do with the businesses that are offering the contest. They just go to these contest pages to consistently try to win cash, cars, all that kind of thing, but they're not necessarily your customers. So, those online contests, I couldn't even tell you what the engagement is, but contest pages are doing the work for you. You don't even have to do the work anymore.
Mm-hmm. But like you say, they aren't necessarily people who want to build your brand and engage with your brand, and that's something we really wanted to focus on, of course, because return customers is where it's at for you, right?
Absolutely. So that's why this was so successful.
Yeah. So after they clicked get your ballot, then they were sent to your standard thank you page, and we told them, you're going to receive an email shortly, and that email is your ballot. I'm going to show you that in a minute. And so they were asked, here it says, in that email will be a ballot. Print it off, fill out the information requested, and bring it into Vanilla Clothing in Walnut Grove during our 2-year anniversary celebration. So they had to get that thank you confirmation email, print it off, fill out info, and bring it in. And then I thought we'd use this as a little extra boosting for Deanna's page because they could then click on this yellow button. We gave them a clear call to action, like our Facebook page too. so that if they clicked on this, this actually took them directly to her page on Facebook. And if they didn't like her page already, they could put a like on her page. And I don't have the exact numbers, but I know we grew the page by 400 or 500 likes as well during the contest. And I don't have that specifically because we weren't focusing on that, but that was just a side benefit that came from this that was so fabulous. So there's no question here what we're asking people to do. And then after this, this is the ballot that they received. And you can see on this, I'm using the same image on the ballot that was on that landing page. And you'll see I used it again in our best performing ad. And one of the things you want to have when you do something like this is consistency of your imagery, so that when people see your ad that they click on Facebook, when they go to your landing page, it looks similar and they know that they've been taken to the right place and they haven't been fallen into a bait and switch phishing scam. And in fact, Facebook's really closing down on those. So if you send people to a page that's not related to your ad, you get in big trouble. But so this is the ballot that they received via email then. It's got the headline to tell them, you know, very clearly what we're talking about, clear directions, bring in the ballot on October 2nd between 6 and 9 to be entered to win. Here's again what they could win, and then the fine print, you must be present at Vanilla Clothing to win. So when we made the draw, you had to be in the room. Because we wanted them to stay. We didn't want them to just come at 6 o'clock, drop off their ballot, and leave. We didn't want to tell them when the draw was going to be because we didn't want them to come 5 minutes before that. We wanted them to stay for the event. As Deanna said, there was wine tasting, people were shopping, there were fabulous appetizers, and then Sherri-Lee Batten, who happened to win Musician of the Year last night at the BC Country Music Awards. Deanna, did you hear that? She was there at Deanna's store on this night. I mean, how fabulous was that? I was there, and I heard her singing, and I turned and looked, and I said to a friend, she's not using a microphone. That's just her totally acoustic. It was amazing. And she just won this huge award last night. She was there. It was an event we wanted them to stay for. So here's the ballot. Write your name, write your email, and then they just had to bring that in to be entered to win. And at the end of the day, we had 54 that came in. Is that right?
We had 52 entries, and then we had 5 ladies who forgot their ballot at home but got the email. And so a total of 57 total entries and people who had stayed right to the end to see who won the grand prize.
So that's a huge conversion number, too. Out of those 219 people we actually added to your list, 52 of them came in for sure, 57 came in to the store and were there that night. That's a massive number of people to come in and actually fulfill that obligation and do that. That's tremendous.
Yeah, well, to me it just shows that there was value in the prize, and we were giving something away that, you know, they wanted to win.
Fabulous. That's how we like it. So then after they got that, after we put all those pieces together and made sure everything was set up, and the nice thing is, just going back to lead pages, that ballot that was sent off to people, that was done directly through lead pages. So it was an instant thing that went off to them. I didn't have to integrate lead pages with any other client, like an email client or anything like that. I was able to have lead pages distribute that for me as soon as people opted in, which was a nice step. I love that about lead pages. So then after we put it all together, we ran a variety of ads. We did some website conversion ads. We did some website click ads, some post-engagement ads. Plus, we did a couple of page-like ads that ran. We did posts on the page to promote it as well. We spent a total of $276 in the entire campaign on the ads, and we acquired 219 email addresses, which turns out that they then are about $1.26 per address that we got. That is insanely cheap. People are working really hard to get $5 for an opt-in cost. That's so low in the industry, it blows my mind that we've been able to do this. So, you know, it's just tremendous. It shows that people love the brand, love the contest, love the prize, love the event. Everything in this promotion came together just perfectly. And And so here is one of the ads that I ran that did really well. And I want to show you this because I want you to see you know, all of the different pieces that go in here. This one did really well. We had a 3.74 click-through rate, which is amazing. This particular ad, we spent $32.76. You can see that up here. We had 138 website clicks alone just from this ad. That's tremendous. And it says again here, enter to win down at the bottom, and then here it says win what you're going to win. And here's our targeting. We targeted very local. We, you know, lots of local cities. I know from talking to Deanna, she has people from West Vancouver and Vancouver that come out to her store, so it made sense to target those people. We narrowed their ages, and in this one, this is the interest that we ran, lunch, Shoppers Drug Mart. So we got to ride on some of Shoppers Drug Mart's presence on Facebook, which is really cool, shopping, fashion, and makeovers. And, you know, we had 168 total actions on this ad. We just did fantastic. This one went really well. And, of course, there's the girl getting all made over, right? So it's relevant. The picture is relevant. But the next ad is the one I want to show you that really blew me away. And this is why it really performed super well. Oops, sorry. This is why it performed so well is because there's that image again. I created this image in PicMonkey. So if you are overwhelmed with the thought of creating your own images, look at picmonkey.com. It's PICMONKEY, and it's free. They have a paid upgrade members level, but I've never used it. I do everything I need in the free version. And if it's something that's too hard for me to do, then I just outsource that. I hire somebody to do that. I'm not a graphic designer. But for this, I created this image right in PicMonkey, and I used that same image again. You see that all the way through. So from the ad, they see that image. They go to the landing page, there's the image. They go to the ballot that they received, there's that image. So consistency all the way across helps in your conversions when you're running these things. And again, enter the win in the ad, join us in celebrating 2 years in Langley. And this is something that's super cool that we can do in Facebook when we're running ads. Deanna uses Constant Contact for her email services, and so I was able to export her email list from Constant Contact. I can then upload it into Facebook. Facebook checks those email addresses to see how many of those are associated with profiles on Facebook, and then I can run ads to those people. So they're on my email list, and they're going to get an email blast which maybe has a call to action in it, and on that same day they're going to see an ad. It's possible to set it up to do this. But what I can also do then is get Facebook to take all of the characteristics of those people's profiles and find me other people that are similar to those people in the email list. This is so cool because now Facebook is out finding new prospects for me and my clients based on criteria of already existed, opted-in, targeted customers. It's fantastic. So this went out to what they call a lookalike audience based on Deanna's Constant Contact email list. Only in Canada, so it's a bit broader. We ran them on Newsfeed in the right side and in mobile. I just saw a stat yesterday that 73% of all people are accessing Facebook on their mobile phones, so you don't want to miss out on that at all. And look at these numbers. We had 701 actions on this ad, 305 conversions to the website. Just amazing numbers on this. You can see 47 cents per conversion of people clicking to the landing page that we created. Really, really an awesome ad that just did fantastic. So I wanted to share that with you too. And then after the ads ran, of course, we watched the results from each ad. We watched what was going on, and we saw the numbers growing. And as needed, you modify and you adjust and you check your ads and keep things working. And sometimes you have to create more than one landing page because the first one didn't work so well, and that's okay. That's just feedback. So let's see if we have any questions at this point. Sue was asking, what is the program called? Sorry, Sue, that was a couple of minutes ago. What program were you talking about? So if there's any questions about the ads, about the process that we laid out, Deanna, do you have anything you want to add? We'll see if anybody has any questions.
Well, I guess we're going to get into a little bit more tangible in the next few slides, eh?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I'll just leave it for that. But is Sue talking about constant contact?
Pardon?
The question, was it from Sue that was asking about what program was that constant contact?
No, it's lead pages she was asking about. There it is.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
You're right, Sue. It's lead pages, I believe, .net. And they are a paid service, so you do have to be aware of that, but they are really, really super if you're looking to set up contests. Any other questions anybody has right now around running the ads, creating the landing page, about the contest in general that we did? No, we're all good. Okay. So why do you want to build your email list? Let's talk about that a little bit. And Deanna, I think this is some of the stuff you were referring to. Everybody talks about it. Build your email list. Build your email list. But if you haven't before, why would you want to do it? And there's a bunch of different reasons. And Deanna, I'm going to ask you to contribute here too, because in a minute about your personal experience. But we build our social media, we build our connections, we network. Your email list allows you to take your relationship with your customers to a deeper level and communicate with them in another fashion. So part of the thing that works in marketing these days is dripping your content and your information and all of that sort of things to your customers on a regular basis. So it's another way to stay connected. The thing I really like about it is your email list is your own. You own it once you've collected those email addresses. So, if you have 10,000 or 20,000 people on your Facebook page, that's great. But if you happen to lose your Facebook page overnight, you have no way of reconnecting with those people. But if you can get those people to give you their email address in exchange for something of value, then if you lose your Facebook page, you start a new page up, and then you email all the old people and say, hey, here we are again, we've moved. And it's something that you aren't going to be able to lose. You own it, and you can keep that connection. It's an opportunity to connect with existing and new customers. Most email clients offer you an opportunity to share your newsletters out on the social networks, and the subscribers have an opportunity to send it to friends and to share it on with people. So if your content in your newsletter is really valuable, it'll get passed around from your subscribers to new people who can become subscribers. It's also a fabulous way to drive people to your website, to your local business, or an event that you have, and it positions you as an authority in your industry. So it really is a fabulous tool to do that. Deanna, I wanted you to talk a little bit about your experience with your email and how it drives people to your business and what that looks like for you, because I know you have a huge response when you send out your newsletters.
Yeah, and I think, and just before we get into that, I think it's really important that I recognize that there's probably lots of different industries on the line right now listening in. So I'm just speaking from specifically in my industry in retail. So please recognize that. So when it comes to marketing and advertising and promotion and where I spend my dollars, I always look at my return on investment. I am a bit of an over-analytic when it comes to things like that, and I recognize some things are more bigger picture than others. But when you want to talk about immediate return on investment, by far email has delivered the most and the best results when it transfers into actual cash at the till. And I think that's really important. So it's great to have people coming in, browsing, new people. Word of mouth is always great too, of course, but it's slow. So when it comes to email, really, when you go back to Sherri-Lee's first couple slides, when we started talking about cost per click, I maybe get between two stores 5 to 10 new unique email addresses a week. and to deliver these kind of results, I mean, I just never seen anything like it. So what it means to me is that we're doing the right thing, and immediately when I send out an e-blast or email communication to my customers that have given me their email address, I see the same day and for 3 days an immediate spike in my sales. And a lot of people are, you know, coming in right away because there's a sense of urgency that they want to get, in my industry, for instance, the right size, the right style that I've just sent in that email. So with women, it's a bit of a competition. Apparently, we're competitive, and somebody wants to get that size over somebody else first. So, you know, I mean, it kind of goes back to, you know, we only carry one of each size. So there is a sense of urgency there, but as soon as that email goes out, the engagement is tremendous. So I would do this all day long, every day, and, you know, continue to enjoy these same results. And I'd encourage you to, if you are collecting email, do something with it. And if you aren't collecting email, start collecting email.
Totally agree. That's fantastic. So.
Do you want me to speak a little bit more about dollars?
Sure. It's kind of in line with the slide that's just come up. So I just put down that you had said this was your #1 action that you do for ROI in your business, which is fantastic that you can track that. So talk a little bit about the outcomes of the promotion there. We talked about that this morning.
Yeah, certainly. So, you know, we obviously had 57 people stay for, you know, the actual draw. We had about 80 people through our, you know, 1,200 square foot store, if you could imagine what that looks like. I mean, they were billowing outside, and there was lots going on. So we had 80 people through over the course of the 3 hours, and 57 stay to the very end for the draw. Now, when it comes to dollar value, I look at it as like a dollar value for a new person that has come to know you through email. So it is a difficult question when you want to put a dollar value to a new customer, but let me answer it like this. I kind of bucket them in 3 categories, and I don't mean to place labels on people, but all intents and purposes, this is what I'm doing. So for new customers that we've never seen before, first time into the store, and now we've reached out to them through like a contest like this where we now have their email list, I equivalent that into about $300 per year. So a very, very conservative number. The second bucket, I would say, is more returning customers. So customers that have been in for the very first time, and maybe, you know, a month later they're coming back, or 2 months later they're coming back, or within the same month. So I would put them at about a $600 to $1,000 per year, like amortized over the year. The third bucket would be from those new customers, now they're returning, now they're regular customers. So they're frequenting our boutique biweekly or at least once a month. So I would say they're at $1,000 plus per year. So what I think is important is to address is that from this contest, 219 were unique email addresses that we had not touched before. So for me, if you translate that into dollars, that's all incremental. And remember, this is outside of my expected budget for the year. I have a promotional budget. I do, you know, adapt and adjust now and again, but this is incremental to my business, which is, you know, my budget's already been established. So I mean, I hope I kind of answered that question for you, but as well, I think what's important is, you know, of those 219, or let's just say, you know, we'll just round it off to 200 new addresses in 10 days. If only 20% of those email addresses translated into sales, that's potentially 40 new customers at $300 per year. Very conservative number. So this is my worst case scenario. If that were to happen, that's $12,000 incremental sales annually, over and above my budget. So to me, on a conservative level, I'm really happy with that.
No kidding, you do that all day, right?
all day, every day.
Yeah, Fantastic. So we've got a question for you. Sue asked, do you have any statistics of the 57 who showed up from the promotion in your shop for the promotion that night, the event that night? Do you know how many of them shopped that night or have shopped since, I guess? Is there some way you know to track that?
Well, eyeballing it, because I was on the cash, I wanted to see what that translated, right? Because, I mean, we have to remember, too, that, you know, people shop different ways, and our store was completely stuffed. Like, in fact, we were supposed to have, like, a mini fashion show that night, and there was absolutely no room to do it, so we didn't do the fashion show. I would say, I mean, as far as the sales go, we did more sales in that 3 hours than the previous 2 days. So I think that alone, that stands alone. And then we had, you know, 2 to 3 days of tremendous sales. People came back and said, hey, I, you know, didn't want to try things on, but I saw this, this, and this. And then that translated into new sales at the till.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Does that answer your question? I hope that answers your question.
I think that's good. I'll just, you know, keep my eye on the chat and see if she has a follow-up question to that. And yeah, she says, great, thank you. And on top of that, though, you've got the potential to reconnect with these people. How often do you send out an email?
Well, I'm just preparing one right now to go out tomorrow morning at 8:30. So I would say I try to limit it to one to 2 times per month. Okay.
So there's, you know, every time you send out an email, you're now reaching an extra couple hundred people that potentially could be business. And your emails include a lot of great information about new products coming into the store, but you also talk about your retail therapy tours and have a tremendous response from your email blasts on those retail therapy tours, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, we publish what the new dates are, and then that's the only way we really advertise what our tour dates are, and that's how we're filling up, is through our email list. And
you're sold out with a wait list, right?
Sold out with a wait list, sold out for the rest of this year, and sold out in February already.
And that's all coming directly through email traffic, email customers. That's fantastic. You can track that. That's so great. So, wow, like Deanna said, if you aren't doing an email list, you really should. The thing that works is having all the pieces in the place at the right place and having a really good strategy. Deanna knows what she's doing when she's sending her emails out and what she wants to accomplish, and then she tracks the results. So that's such an important key to knowing if what you're doing matters. And you've all probably heard, you know, if you aren't tracking your activity, then you aren't really marketing. You're just, you know, wasting time. So make sure you're tracking your results so that you can know this information like Deanna does. And then, so who wants to start building their email list? I mean, this seems like a no-brainer. You hear all these results, and you know, it's pretty amazing. I'm just going to quickly check and see if there's any questions before we go on. I think I saw there was a question about the percentage of people using Facebook on mobile. That was 73%. I just saw that on a stat today that in something I was reading. Don't ask me where I saw it because I won't remember. Actually, it was on a course I'm taking. So anyways, let's talk about list building. I mean, obviously, when you put the pieces together, you get an amazing promotion that works really well. Your email list blows up, and then you get all kinds of business from it. That's, you know, that's really the way we want to see this work for you all the time. But it can be a bit overwhelming. I mean, I talked about a couple of different pieces of tech that you've got to do. It can be a little daunting to put all the pieces together yourself, especially, you know, if you're running your own business and you probably have your plate pretty full already with things to do, and, you know, not to mention having a life outside of your business and a family and all those other things. So I would like to just share with you a program I have coming up in November. It is a 4-week live training program that I'm going to be hosting. It'll all be done virtually online through a service like GoToWebinar, like what we're doing right now. The difference will be I'll probably have the phone lines open on some of it for some of the calls. So this program runs all of November. There's 4 live training calls that are going to be happening, 1 per week. We're going to have hot seats so that we can review your pages and work on whatever you're working on. We're going to talk about creating content. We're going to make sure your Facebook page is set up and optimized the way it needs to be, and we're going to have a guest expert come in who's going to speak to us about how to get keywords to use in your Facebook page so that it ranks really good in the search. We're going to go through setting up ads so that you can grow your page, and my goal for each person, if they've got the ad budget, is that they will grow their page by 1,000 likes during this month. So think of how that could translate for your business just coming up to Christmas. We're going to work on images. We're going to work through that PicMonkey tool and work on how to make images. And then we're going to spend time on setting up contests and promotions and creating a list building process for your page, for your business. So we'll go through lead pages. I've got a tech woman coming on. She's a goddess around tech, and she's going to come on and share with you how to get through all of the tech blunders and challenges that we have and really simplify it for you so that you can set up the same kind of funnel that you just saw us do for Deanna. Whether it'll be a contest or a promotion, you can give away information product, all of that will be covered. We'll be discussing how to do all of that to set it up to get your email list growing. And we're going to have a private Facebook mastermind group, so you're going to be part of that. It's pretty active. People ask questions. That's where you're going to be able to get support on the process. If you've got questions, if you've got information that you want, to get feedback on, you can use that. There'll be a private members area that'll be on my website where all of the calls and the recordings will be housed, so you can go back and re-listen to any of the calls that you want to hear again, or if you can't attend the call live, you have access to it, and that's a lifetime access to that members area, so you'll be able to go back to that at any time. We're going to have handouts and downloads for you as well in the members area, and we're going to have guest speakers, as I mentioned, that are going to walk you through some of the complicated sides of this. As well as for some bonuses for you, you're going to receive my free report, or my report on how to increase your engagement on Facebook, and you're going to receive my Facebook setup checklist that you can use to make sure your page is optimized and set up properly. And then I'm also going to throw in a private 30-minute phone consultation with me to be used during the program if you need some assistance with creating one of the parts of the program, if you need some feedback, if you need help setting goals, if you need help with your ads, that's what you can use that time for. And it's a phone consultation. We can do it by Skype, so we can share screens if you need me to look at things, and we can use that to help you make sure that you're optimized and everything is on track for you. So there's the package again, the club, the Facebook Client Magnet Club again, that's running in November. The total value of that package is $1,800. I mean, it's a huge package. There's lots of stuff in there. I'm adding new things every day. There's other guest speakers that I'm still talking to that I might want to come in. So in the end, this is going to be a fantastic group that's just got a lot of potential for you to make new relationships and connections, but to also finally make sure that your Facebook page is working for you the way you want, and that you're building your email list, which is really, as you see, such a valuable tool. So for today, for the first 10 people who want to sign up today, I'm going to do that for you for $197. I really think there's tremendous value in this program, and I think all of you would see your businesses change substantially after this. I believe so strongly in this. I'm going to give you a 30-day guarantee after the program. So if by the end of December, if you haven't achieved your goals and you've put the effort in, and you just contact me and I will refund your money. But I don't believe that that's going to happen. I think this is a program. I'm so excited about this. And there is the link to where you want to go to sign up. It's a simple sales page for you there. You just click on that or cut and paste it into a browser and open that up. It'll have a list of all the things that you're getting again. In fact, I'm going to show you that, what it will look like for you when you go there. So there you'll see the sales page there. It tells you everything that you're getting in the package, the value, and when you click Buy Now, it's just going to take you to a PayPal page for you to choose to pay. Now, you don't have to be a member of PayPal. You don't have to use PayPal. You can use your credit card and just pay for that there, and then you will get confirmation and everything will go. We're starting in November. I believe it's the 4th will be our first day. So here it is what it looks like. You can pay with credit card or you can pay with your account. We'll be starting in the first week of November and going for 4 weeks, and it'll be a bit intense, but it's going to be a lot of fun, and you're going to accomplish a lot. Like I said, probably 1,000 new likes on your page, and you know, from the numbers that we got, depending on how quick you work and how fast you take action, you could grow your list by 100, 200 people. So you will need to have an ads budget for this month if you want to run ads during the program. So just be aware that's outside of the cost of the program. So any questions? All right, Suzanne, you're in. Yay, fantastic. Thank you. I think you're going to get a lot out of this program. I'm so excited about it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Any questions for Deanna about her email marketing? We can stay on and answer any questions you may have. I know Deanna's got to go and open the store soon, right?
Yes.
So if you have any questions left for Deanna, please pop them in the question. She will answer them, but she's going to have to go fairly soon in order to open the store and start selling fabulous clothes. And you know, if you guys are local, go visit her. If you've seen me around locally lately, I've been wearing vanilla clothing for about a year now, and I'll tell you, oh, gorgeous clothes. They look fabulous, and you feel fabulous in them, but they feel fabulous on. Holy smokes. I feel like $1 million when I put them on. I love it. Mm-hmm. So any other questions? Let's see. Nancy's asking if they're, no, these are not, you don't have to come and meet anywhere. This is all done in your home, and nobody has to see you, so you can stay in your pajamas. So that's nice and easy. And the calls are going to be during the workday. I don't do a lot of stuff outside of that because I have my kids and on the weekends. But as I said, if you can't actually be here live because it conflicts with something else, they'll be going up into the members area later that day. And then you can go and listen to them at your own leisure and, you know, hear them more than once because the content's going to be great. Janie, does the seminar cover how to use lead pages? Yes, Janie, we're going to cover how to use lead pages to create landing pages, to collect information from people, and the different types of templates. I'm going to be working with you on that, plus I'm going to have another person come in who's going to walk you through that, and we're going to show you how to integrate it with your email clients, which it does with most of them. It does with Constant Contact, Aweber, MailChimp. So when people sign up, their email address can go directly into a list that you select and tell them to go into. So it's nice and simple, but we're going to walk you through that whole process, how to set it up, how to create it, and then as you're creating them, you can come to the Facebook Mastermind group and ask for feedback and see how things appeal to other people, because remember, you might not be your ideal target client, but somebody in the group might be, so they can give you feedback then about the wording and all the rest of it.
Fantastic.
Yes.
I think it's important to mention that, I mean, again, I don't know what industries are on the line, but I think it's important to know, and if you are already social media savvy, I considered myself pretty social media savvy, and then realized, you know, in my young business that I needed some help doing things that I just simply was not prepared to spend the time or the money to go learn because I needed to be doing other things. And I think, you know, what I found with Sherri-Lee is that we have a partnership now. She understands my business. If she doesn't understand what I'm trying to achieve, we talk about it until we both come to an understanding on how are we going to get to the overall results, because I am very results-driven, as Sherri-Lee can attest to. And I think that, you know, we push each other to understand more about, you know, this is all she does. This is her business. So for me, yeah, I might do the daily post here and there, but for the more complex planting the seeds for, you know, a week to 6 months down the road, this is where I found tremendous value in your services, and I appreciate the partnership that we've created together.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you saying that. That was unscripted, everyone. Thanks, Deanna. If you need to run, you go ahead. I think we're winding down on the questions. Before you go, I want to say thank you for being here. I've just loved working with you so much over the last year. Look forward to, continuing on. I know you're going to keep challenging me to get you more and more email opt-ins each time, which is kind of exciting because that means more and more fabulous examples to show people. So I appreciate you being here today, too. I know you have a busy month, and it was a bit of a challenge to find time. But
yeah, no, thank you for the opportunity, and if there's any questions after I hang up, please pass them on. I'm happy to answer them.
For sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Well,
thanks, Deanna.
For having me. Okay.
You're welcome. Thank you. And for those of you still on the line, I wanted to, mention Deanna brought something up. She does her regular content posting on Facebook. She posts daily, most of the time, around, new things in her store, events that are coming out, things that are going on. She posts that. And sometimes I see things and I'll give her some suggestions. I'll give her some tips on how to maybe make those posts more efficient. But by themselves, posting every day on Facebook alone is not the way that you're going to drive business to your business, drive customers to your business. Posting alone is not going to necessarily get you more clients or customers. But when you start adding strategy to it, when you start making sure your page is optimized and you're using the right keywords and you understand the message that your ideal client wants to hear, then your posts take on a different tone and they resonate with those people and they resonate with other people as well. But then when you add to it things like running ads occasionally, reaching new customers, using the tools that Facebook gives you, like I showed you, creating that custom audience off of an original email list, and then Facebook finding new people with similar interests for you to engage with. When you add those things in, and when you add creating landing pages and building your email list, now we're talking definite steps to get people into your business, whether it's your website or your storefront, and getting them to do business with you. And that's what this program is going to do, is walk you through those steps. So any other questions, anything else that we have? Let's see. It's looking great. All right. Well, I'm going to sign off. It's been an hour. I'm very aware of your time. I so appreciate you being here during this hour with me. I hope that you're excited with the information. And that page is going to be up if you decide. You don't have to sign up right now during this hour. It's going to be up there for a while. So make sure you've jotted down the URL if you want to think about it. If you want to contact me, you can email me. My email address is info@socialmediaminder.com. If you have some specific questions about the program before you make the big decision, feel free to email me or hop onto my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/socialmediaminder, and ask me a question there. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you have that would help you with this decision. But as I said, I'm super excited about this program. I think it's going to be a real winner for anybody who jumps in on it. And the price is going to go up. The regular price for it is going to be $297 as soon as I hit those 10 people that I had to offer for today. So there's 10 spots only at $197. Then it's going up to $297, and that's going to be the price. It's still a steal of a deal, but why not save yourself $100 if you're thinking about it? And I will just leave you with, do not give up. The beginning is always the hardest, and once you persist and move on, you'll see that you've made massive headway and taken massive action and moved forward in your business. So don't give up. So thank you very much for being with me. I so appreciate your time. Again, if you have questions, contact me, and I will see you on Facebook or at the next webinar. Thank you again. Take care.